Hey guys, welcome to another Road to Med video. I'm Rashil,
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jap.
and today we're going to be talking about how to maintain a high average in high school. For reference, our averages were a 97.
95.
And 98.
All right guys, so I'm going to be talking about things that you can implement in class in order to receive a higher average. Now, with any high-scoring student, there are a few things that they do that are always the same that allow them to really get those high marks on tests and quizzes. So first things first, you need to have a strong note-taking method. Whether that's the Cornell note-taking method system, or you just write down notes with no order, structure, or flow, and if that works for you, that's great. But you need to have something that allows you to take what was covered in class and really apply that outside of school. So firstly, what I would recommend to anybody who's taking notes is to not just blindly copy what the teacher is saying. This is a mistake that I feel like a lot of people make, and it's not the most effective way to study, because if you're just copying down what's on the slides, you're not really absorbing any of the content that's going through. And that just leads to worse retention when you're actually studying for your exams, because you won't remember what the teacher's actually talking about. So I would say that you really focus on what the teacher's saying and paying attention in class and writing important concepts out. So usually when teachers are covering something that they're likely to put on the exam, or things that are commonly that students commonly struggle with, they're probably going to put extra emphasis on it in class. And those things, you really want to pay attention to what the teacher's saying, because they usually give you tips around how to better understand the concept or just do it better on the test. Now, another tip that you can use is simply just asking questions. So preferably you would want to review whatever you're learning about the day before, so that when you do listen to the lectures or the lesson, it's going to be more of a review for you, and you'll be more familiar with the content, and that'll just help you absorb it better. And that way you will be able to ask more effective questions that'll help you get just better marks and better understanding of the topic. And typically you can just ask your questions to your teachers throughout, or just ask them at the end of the class after the lecture, because usually they'll be more receptive to you and they'll be willing to give you more detailed answers and explanations.
So secondly, guys, I will be talking about how to manage your workload and how to study outside of the classroom. So number one tip I have for you guys is to find a workspace that works best for you. You cannot be going home, seeing that comfy bed beside you and being like, oh my God, that shit is so comfy, I want to fall asleep right now, because you are going to end up doing that. Rather, find a workspace that is not your room, not where you sleep, and study there. For instance, I personally used to go to a cafe or a library. Starbucks, always my number one choice, but on top of that, since I went to school in Mississauga, the UTM library was full of university students, and that created a study environment for me to hop onto the grind. But once you guys find your workspace, second thing you guys should always do is create a schedule or a timetable or something, because if you do not have a to-do list, you will not be prioritizing your work properly. For instance, you might be working on some random stuff, or you might be running video games. You are not going to pay attention to how much work you have. Your future is important. Make sure you have a to-do list. But once you do get a to-do list, what you should obviously do is evenly distribute your workload. If you have a 250-page book due by the end of the week, do not read it all on one day. I did that once. That is not worth it at all. Evenly distribute it. Read about 40 pages a day, and there you go. You're done that book. Lightweight. But obviously, once you're done doing that, make sure you are prioritizing your work. You cannot be studying for a test that's a week away when you have a test the next day. Always ensure you are focusing on what matters.
So, school gets hard, and so does life. But that's what it's all about. And you have to find ways to release your stress and to kind of cope with everything. Grade 12 is a stressful year where the stakes are high and you have to perform. But that doesn't mean you cannot have fun. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy things in life. There's a big misconception that to have good marks, you have to be in your room the whole time studying. Fun fact, no. Studying is a big portion of your mark, but also having a balance is even bigger. Doing things like going to the gym, going out with your friends, even little things like watching a movie just by yourself can help you decompress. Having a high mark and working as hard as that, you're gonna need times to relax. You can experience burnout, and you don't want to experience that in grade 12. And I think a big thing is that people need to believe that it's okay to have fun. It's okay to relax. You know, even if you're not studying 24/7, you're still giving yourself a balanced lifestyle. So just to go and kind of talk about this more, clubs are a big thing. Join clubs that are diverse. Don't join something that you maybe is STEM oriented or math. Join something that's different. You can join a trivia team. I joined a trivia team. Join things that are very different and diverse, that give you something to just not think about. You don't have to think about school. You're thinking about that thing. And whether it's sports too, sports help me with that. Do things that help get your mind off things. So to just be blunt about it, try your hardest to diversify your lifestyle and not solely focus on school, because the marks will come, but you need, as a person, need to come together and be collected so that you can succeed as a whole. So like I say, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, and that helps you learn.
All right, guys. Well, that concludes the video. Hopefully you guys learned something. And as always, stay cool as a cucumber. We'll see you next time, guys.